Hi everyone, this week's Parsha is Parshat Ki-Teitzei. Now I heard a beautiful Dvar Torah from my Rabbi Chaim Yehuda on this week's Parsha, and I thought it was great, so I'll give it over again now. So the Ramban talks about this week's Parsha has a lot of dinim, right? A lot of laws and ways we execute punishments or reward for different actions. And one of those is that when someone violates a lav, a lo taseh, specific kinds of mitzvot that are negative mitzvot, as we say, things that you shouldn't do, they receive malkot, they receive lashes as punishment. Now, how many lashes do they receive? Well, they receive 40 lashes, the Torah says. It says arba'im, 40. And there's obviously a whole masechta of Gemara, a whole tractate of Gemara called Makos, and that goes into talking about all the details that go behind that go behind this process of someone who has to receive lashes, unfortunately. But the Ramban talks about in this week's Parsha, what's the reason why we have 40 lashes, right? Why 40? It's an arbitrary number. What's going on here? So he proposes two ideas. One is that 40 represents the 40 days, 40 nights that Moshe went up to Har Sinai to receive the Torah. So that's kind of saying that the punishment, receiving these lashes, are keneged, they go in correspondence to the Torah itself, that they were going against the Torah if 40 represents those 40 days. Now, the second idea he proposes is that the number 40 represents the number of days where it takes to create a person. Now, you could go look in the Ramban exactly what he means by that. It might be political in today's day and age, but according to the Ramban, that's what the metric is, 40 days. So in that case, right, if we're reading that the 40 lashes represent the 40 days that it takes to create a person, well, in that case, when someone receives lashes, they're really receiving lashes for themselves, for violating themselves, so to speak, not violating the Torah. Now, the Chasam Sofer, a more modern commentary than the Ramban on the Torah, explains this Ramban, and he says beautifully. He draws out this difference between the two ways of understanding the 40. One being corresponding to the 40 days of receiving the Torah, the other one of the 40 days that it takes for a person to be created. And he says that this really which one is it, right? Which one really is it? And he reads into the Gemara in Makos, in this tractate, that it talks about these lashes. And in the Gemara, it says, look at these people. How foolish are they that they stand for a Sefer Torah, that they stand for a Torah, but not for a Talmud Chacham, not for such a great Torah scholar. Now, how foolish are these people is the language used in the Gemara. It says tipesh, which is used in modern Hebrew as stupid, right? How crazy are these people for standing for a Torah and not for a Talmud Chacham, a Torah scholar? So according to the Chasam Sofer, this idea of the number 40 behind the lashes that people that corresponds to the 40 lashes that people get as punishment for doing one of these lo tases, these negative mitzvot, really goes to show us that look how much attention we put toward Torah, how much respect we have toward Torah. Let's put that exact same respect, that same attention on ourselves, because we as people, as scholars of the Torah, are worth so much more, so to speak. And I think it's a super beautiful message for all of us leading up to Rosh Hashanah, all about the potential that we have as people, as Jews, as Torah scholars. And with that, I wish you all a Shabbat Shalom.